Hi YouTube friends. Well, I'm out on the deck. We're going to take a visit to the chicken coop and the chicken pen in just a second. Because Brownie, my biggest one of the crankier hens, she's gone broody again for the second time this summer, and so this time I decided I would let her set a clutch of eggs. So I'm trying to get enough eggs day by day to put underneath her, and I've put her into this special location, the broody box, where she's away from where they lay eggs. But she didn't want to stay in there, so I had to put a cage around her. Anyway, I'll show you that whole arrangement, and we'll see if there's any new eggs today yet that I can put underneath her. She's kind of a grumpy hen. But first I'm going to show you two forsythia slips that I put into water, and I've had a bunch in water for probably 2 months at least, and finally two of them put out some roots, and so I put them into some potting soil. I'm hoping to have a couple of new forsythia bushes off of these slips that I cut from my big forsythia bush, and I just love to do stuff like that instead of going to the plant nursery and paying 25 bucks for a new shrub. But it'll take these ones a few years to grow. So let me show you the forsythia, and then we'll go see Brownie. So my big forsythia bush is right there, and we discovered it in the undergrowth around this farm when we first moved here. I discovered it was there because I saw the yellow bloom in the spring. We moved here in August, and it wasn't until the next spring that I saw, oh, I have a forsythia bush. All right. And here are these little slips that I cut to put into a flower arrangement one Sunday for church. And then when I came back home, I hated to just throw them away when the flowers had fallen off. So I thought, well, I'll just stick them in a bucket of water on the back porch. And they have been sitting here. This is to keep them from blowing out. They kept on blowing out and drying up. And so I have two that have rooted. The others, let me see. If you look at the bottoms, I mean, the little nubs are looking really nubby, like they may want to send out roots, and some of them may still do that. I'm just going to leave them every time it rains. They get new water in there, and but they're clearly alive. They're nice and green, so I think they should root at some point. So let me show you the two I've rooted. Here they are. This one's nice and tall. This one had roots right here, if you can see, and then it had some on the bottom, and so I put the bottom ones in. This one had roots higher, so I just snipped off the bottom and I put the roots down into that soil. And I've got it in this water, trying to get it well moist. My potting soil was incredibly dry. All right, now we're going to go see the chickens. Now, Adam just really hates this chicken pen, and he is planning to rebuild it. When he tears down our big garden, he's going to get all the posts and use it to rebuild it. But he hates it because all this bird netting is falling down, and then the wisteria vines, which there's a wisteria vine, they just grow everywhere. There's another one over there. They're starting to cover this, and it looks terrible, but honestly, the chickens don't care because they're only, what, 1.5 feet high maybe, and it makes everything in here shady. Ah, look. So now that I finally took Brownie out of the laying box, she was sitting in there trying to sit on a clutch of eggs, and the other birds are kind of scared of her, so they didn't want to get in there and lay, so they were kind of like, we don't want to lay. But once I took her out and put her in her own spot, now they started laying again. So I've got 4 new eggs to put underneath her. I've got a new arrangement here. It's hard to do things one-handed. This is where she is. Let me do this. There's Brownie. Okay, Brownie, I got some new eggs for you. She's pretty happy that I'm not trying to move her, so I'm just gonna see. I'm taking these eggs. Oop! Oh, taking these eggs and just sticking them underneath her. You take those under there. Okay, so this is the broody box that's on the end of my coop, as you see. And let me show you what I rain. And I've got some water, and I've sprinkled some food in there for her. I might give her some more. When they're broody, they don't eat or drink very much. And then inside the coop, I have this cage that Adam constructed. It's got a top on it. Actually, the cage goes up over and it encloses this area so that when the babies are born, they can run back in there for safety, because the other hens, sometimes they want to get in there. They're curious about the babies. Sometimes they're a little aggressive with the babies. And so the babies need to have a safe place to go with their mama. The only thing is that that Brownie can't get out of this broody box on her own, so I have to come out here. Every couple of days I come out and lift her out and let her poop, because broody mamas have big, stinky poops. I won't get that on video for you. This is awful. This is a piece of wood, but it was leaky, so Adam put plastic on it, but I think we need to take that off and put some new plastic on it. It's looking pretty bad. Okay, so that's the chicken arrangement. I think right now she's probably got about 11 eggs under her. I wouldn't mind her having 20. That's the goal. Leah has McDonald's Hamburglar.
You don't have to go.
Look at those dogs.
Tricky eats it in like 10 seconds, and Bubba will sit there.
I got a chicken now.
All right, so here is the little house. We're coming in the door. You can see that Adam has made some serious progress on this new wall over here. He's got one more panel of sheetrock to put in there. There's a door that'll go into that long storage area. There is going to be a closet over here, a clothes closet that'll go for this room. And then here's the, Adam, how big is this bedroom? The area that's left?
16 by 12.
16 by 12, so good size room. Honestly, this room was too big before. We were constantly putting the futon in the middle of the floor to kind of divide the space because it's so big. And just this morning, he ripped that door and the frame out. He's cleaning it up. He's going to finish that wall so there's not a door there anymore, but instead a window. The window is behind me. Let's turn around. Here's the window. And there'll be an air conditioner in that window that'll condition this space. So, lots of progress being made, especially for you family members that are keeping track. I'll give you an after shot later today. Hey, Chickaroo. Trick, trick. Of course, you have to come over.